All right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
So was that really the first thing you ever said in a movie, and the first line in the first movie?
First 3 words I ever said on film.
My God.
It was not scripted.
That's mad.
It was not scripted.
It wasn't
I was
scripted.
on my very first job. No. I was on my very first job called Dazed and Confused in the summer of 1992 in my hometown of Austin, Texas, where I was going to school. I got this role that had 3 lines. I was supposed to work in 3 scenes for 3 days on a film.
Yeah.
I get invited to set one night just to do a makeup and wardrobe test. I am not supposed to act. I'm just there for the director to approve my makeup and wardrobe.
Yeah.
Well, he does approve my makeup and wardrobe that night. And then he goes to me, hey, Wooderson, this character that you're playing. You know, I figure he's been with the typical hot chicks in school. Do you think he'd have any interest in like the redheaded intellectual? And I'm like, oh, yeah, Wooderson. You know, Wooderson likes all kinds of girls. And he goes, well, you know, Marissa Ribisi, the actress, is playing this role of Cynthia. She's the redheaded intellectual who's hanging out with her nerdy friends tonight. And you think Wooderson, your character, might pull up and try and pick her up at the Top Notch Drive-In? I said, sure. Next thing I know, I'm in the car. About to shoot a scene. I got a lavalier mic on. There's nothing scripted. All I know is there's this curly redheaded girl over there in a car about 30 feet away. And on action, I'm supposed to pull up and try and pick her up. So I start getting a little bit nervous. And I say to myself, who's my man? Who is Wooderson, the character I'm playing? And I said, what am I about? And in my mind, I tell myself, I'm about my car. And I said, well, look, I'm in my 1970 Chevelle. There's one. I said, Wooderson's also about getting high. I look over there. I said, Slater's riding shotgun. He's always got a doobie rolled up. There's 2. And I said, I'm about rock and roll. I said, well, I've got Ted Nugent Stranglehold in the 8-track right now jamming. There's 3. And that's when I hear action. And as I hear action, I look up across the parking lot at the redheaded intellectual, Cynthia, and I say to myself, Wooderson's about picking up chicks. Well, I got 3 out of 4, so all right. And I pulled out and picked her up to go get the 4th.
You were arrested by the police in the USA playing was it in America or Australia?
No, that was in America.
Yeah.
That was 1999.
So how did that happen? You were playing the bongos and you were Starkers, yeah?
What Starkers? Is that naked?
Yeah, naked, yeah. Naked as a bulldog. Is that what they say? Naked as a bullfrog, no?
Jaybird.
Jaybird, sorry.
Yeah, I was my favorite football team, my university had just won a huge football game on the Saturday previous to this night. So it was time to celebrate. And I celebrated through Saturday night, through Sunday night. Now we're into Monday morning at about 2:36 a.m. And I am home. It's been a long, awesome weekend of celebrating, so it's time to, wind on down. And what am I going to do? It's time to have a jam session. Well, I'm going to sit there and I open up my windows. I got the beautiful jasmine garden outside at the back. There's a nice breeze blowing. It's a perfect 71 degrees Fahrenheit. And I turn on some music and I start jamming. Well, I think I'm minding my own business until 2 cops come in and pretty forcefully take over me in the situation and have a knee in my back with the nightsticks out. I was not happy about this. I resisted heavily. And then as they tried to take me out of there to take me downtown and arrested me, I thought remember I've been partying for 32 hours. So my mind's thinking, oh, it's a great idea to remain naked, which I was, because this is proof of my innocence, proof that I was minding my own business, proof that I was defenseless. So they offered me clothes and blankets to put on. And I was like, no, you're not. This is how I was when you found me. This is proof I'm minding my own business. Well, they take me out and there's 6 cop cars and 40 neighbors outside. And I'm stubborn. I'm not putting anything on. I'm handcuffed. Let's go. We go down to the precinct, and as I'm walking in, still in the buff, this inmate comes out with a pair of cotton pants, and he looks at me. And he was about a 6'6" tall guy, and he looks at me, and I looked at him, and I go, "Proof of my innocence, man." And he just nods, and he goes, "We all innocent, man."
We're all innocent.
You want to put these pants on. And I looked at him, and it was the fact that the way he said it, this is the first person I believed at that time. I went, okay.
Yeah.
So he bent down, snuffed up the pants up my legs, and I go in, Spent a night in jail. The whole thing got thrown out because the judge kind of looked at, wait, I don't understand how a noise complaint turned into a misdemeanor, turned into the resisting
Yeah.
arrest, et cetera, et cetera. Paid a $50 fine, got out of there. And yeah, the next day, bongo naked shirts were all over Austin, Texas, and the USA. It was actually quite funny.
There's a story of you living in Australia around 1988, and you had Kick by An Excess, okay, a massive album, absolutely brilliant. Maxi by Maxi Priest, I'm not too familiar with that one, but the other one was a U2 album. Which one was that?
That one was Rattle and Hum.
The Doubler, the Doubler.
I love that album. Oh, man, they were just, when they were that, they were just spitting it out when they were making that album, slinging the truth. And that's still one of my favorite rock and roll albums. It's got those live licks on it. And I mean, what the Edge is doing with his guitar, it's got, talk about an honesty in an album. The contradictions in that album are incredible. And it's just got teeth. It's got real fangs, that album. And that album was a good friend of mine in that year in Australia where I was quite lost at times. And I needed a friend. I needed a bearing. And that album, U2, mainly with that album, Rattle and Hum, was a friend that helped me sort of find my compass and keep my sanity there for a while in that year.
There's also a great chapter in the book there on meeting Camilla for the first time. And can you describe the first time you saw her? Can you tell us, was it love at first sight? And what happened on that day?
Well, I knew it was something special at first sight. The love came over the next couple of years where I really fell in love with her. But I was at a club, and I'm not really a club guy. And I was at a club, holding court, making drinks for everyone at the table, and this woman, this beautiful entity, was moving across the room in front of me, about 20 feet in front of me. And it was a little bit hazy in there, and it was kind of half dark. But this image of this woman and these caramel shoulders and this turquoise dress, it was an impression. She moved right to left to my eye, and it was like her head wasn't even bobbing. It was almost like she was levitatedly floating. And she moved, and I watched her move across the room. And in that 5 seconds, all of a sudden, I ended up leaning forward. My jaw dropped a little bit as I stood up and leaned up towards her. Mind you, she's 20 feet away, and I said, "What is that?" I didn't say, "Who is that?" I said, "What?" Mind you, then I went and introduced myself. And she came and sat down, and I've never understood Portuguese as good as I did that night, 'cause it's her native language. And I never spoke as good Spanish as I did that night, and tried to ask her out the very next night. And she had a great first answer, which is a great thing, a great reason to say no. She was like, "No, it's my dad's birthday tonight." And so there's family is very important. Yes, what a great reason. What a pure reason to say no.
Yeah.
I'm not going out with you. I asked her out the next night. Anyway, about a week later, she finally acquiesced and came, and we had our first date. And then, she turned out to be everything that I saw in that first image, everything that came to my mind, the beauty of what she was. She turned out to be that much more for me.